getting a lot of information sessions around this topic, or people wanting to go deep and full around this topic. This is usually very intimately attached. It's my family I'm seeing things that they're going through, and I'm terrified about me. I'm seeing disease or injury or decline or degeneration riddled through my immediate family, and I can't stop thinking about me and my children, or me and my pets maybe, or seeing them go through addiction or relationship, splitting, separation, divorce, what have you. I can't stop thinking about me, and I'm scared, I'm terrified, and I'm just trying to get a hold of it. And so there's always waves of groupings of healing responses or injuries that come through, like month to month. Like 1 month it'll be knees, another month it'll be autoimmune, another month it'll be relationships, another month. And so recently it's been this. So I wanted to shed some light on it that I could do safely in a social media format, since this is public and in my office. If we were going deeper per the individual, no way could we share this or even go into it in a group format. So that is a concern. You have immediate family members or throughout your genetic line, and they all have neurodegenerative, autoimmune, cancer, immune responses, aging related, this, that, and the other, deaths. I mean, you hear about it. It's all anybody wants to talk about. Or you get the email, it's like, did you hear so-and-so has, and it's always like a family announcement, like it's this big declaration, and you're brought into it because you're in the fucking family, right? Or addiction or divorce or whatever it's going to be riddled through, if everyone's being honest. So number one, what's the first thing you want is you want to feel safe and at peace and in some form of harmony with yourself. Because hearing this news and not knowing where you stand or where you're at, you become afraid of yourself. And that's what I keep talking about. That's why you have to understand symptoms and injuries, where they're coming from, and that they're for you. Because every way of preventing, curing, and treating is just driving a wedge between you and you. So then when you hear this, it should be just care and concern for a family member. Instead, it's flipped back onto you, where it's you care and you're concerned. Morning, guys. You care and you're concerned, but you're also terrified of yourself, and you can't ignore that, because that ultimately is the most important part. And then you kind of feel guilty that you took back all the focus of which you feel, or that's the whole point of telling everyone, is that it should be on these sick individuals. Instead, you put it on yourself, where you're terrified of yourself. And how dare you? How dare you be selfish in this world of human? So, in no way is this a joke. So if I laugh or do anything, it's out of sheer, almost dark comedy. So now let's go. What do you ultimately want to do? You care and love somebody so much, or you care and love these people so much, or you're concerned about them so much, you ultimately want to save them. It's instinctive, it's human. Save this person at all costs. And maybe you're sending them supplements, or you're sending them doctor's information, or you're sending them my email even, or you're sending them phone numbers, or you're sending them treatments or cleanses, or you're buying them all this stuff. Or driving them to you want to save them at all costs. Save. If they only knew we could save them. If they only cut out we could save them. If they only didn't have that healing, we could save them. And you focus so much energy on saving them, but let's be brutally, authentically honest here. Can you save anybody? Have to be honest with that answer. The answer is no, but you have to figure out why it's always no. Doesn't matter whether it's children, pets, spouse, in your lineage, friends, family, the world, society. There isn't. It's an individual journey. It's an individual approach. There is no saving. It's okay. So if that's aside and we understand that, you want to help, right? You want to put some effort. Well, now you're going to have to understand, are you medicating yourself with wanting to help because you don't want to go in and see truly who you are? That's another thing. A lot of people getting into professions, they're medicating themselves in their professions because they want to help. But wait, why are you wanting to help so much? What are you hiding in yourself, or what are you numbing in yourself by helping so many? And that leads you to this. If your concern is somebody else, and if you do care about others as much as you feel, right? Family or parts of the world or whatever it's going to be, what ultimately would be the most righteous, courageous, honest, healthy way to help them? And that would be, this is what we cover in visits, and then we get specific in you working with you becoming more honest with you becoming more vulnerable with you ultimately understanding your situation, your symptoms of healing, your injuries, changing your life, understanding your life, making drastic, massive changes and efforts, closing the store, changing the job, having the conversation in the relationship, changing the relationship, leaving the relationship, staying in the relationship, moving houses, staying in your house, redesigning everything, going to every inch and fabric of your life for you. Because again, it can't be to save anybody, because then that's your intention, and then your body's going to bring you back and go, that's not how it works here, and it's going to yank you the fuck back into yourself with more symptoms, more injuries, more opportunities, while they have the same thing that their bodies are doing for them. So again, the extent that you want to help is coming from the place of how much you understand yourself, and then your view of the world and others becomes so goddamn clear that, think about it, even in a family riddled with cancer, a family all over the place with suicide and divorce and alcohol and drugs and burglary and theft and getting things cut out, cut off, and all this stuff, you can sit from the outside or inside in and go, well, of course their bodies, this is where they're coming from. You understand bodies, you understand human to a level you understand yourself. You understand then anything humans are involved with. Take now any industry, and you now see headlines change, news changes, all of it changes, because now you literally are going, oh, well, that totally makes sense, because it's coming from a place of where you understand yourself, and that's where that map is. That's where that class, the only mentor is you. Continue education, the coursework, the masterclass, they're all coming from you and your work with you. So to redirect the energy you want to spend on trying to save somebody, it's got to be going into yourself, because again, people only can only do the work for themselves. It has to be. Even if it's, changing a healing response, understanding it has to be for them. It can't be for their kids. It can't be for their spouse. It can't be to keep status in society. It has to be for their deepest, most honest version, truest version themselves. Can't be for their parents. It has to be. That's how we got ourselves into a lot of these things, is doing things for our parents, doing things to fit in with our spouse, doing things for our children, doing things. And bodies, like, it's got to be for you. So, as you're going through, because you will, all humans do is heal, right? So that's never going to stop. So having a society that's symptom-free, that doesn't make any sense. That's fucking stupid and impossible. and a promise that all medicine is lying about or they don't even understand. It's just a false promise that there's even a future that has no symptoms and no injuries being a part of it. It's insanity. But insanity is actually more human. It's inhuman is what it is. So as your family and the world and society continues to respond with these beautiful, independent, internal, intimate healing responses to have everyone get attention to themselves, to change themselves, to understand themselves, you can sit on the outside doing the work, living in a way that is aligned with you understanding you, and then there's no choices. It's just literally, there's no plan Bs, there's no deliberation of difficult choices to be made. No, it's just that, because another choice wouldn't make any sense to how you're choosing to live, deciding to live. Because once you decide, that's it. It's not saying what you're going to do, it's just making a decision, and then everything fits that. So you want to save, you want to help, you want to care, you want to show concern, you want to, it has to be through you. It has to be you with you first, and then you through kids, you through parents, spouse, all the other stuff. But it has to be through you first. That's why anytime I hear about it in families or hear about it in my family or see a headline, I immediately turn back into me. All right, what can I do today to understand me more, to an extent even more? Because even if I tried with my brother to try to save somebody. Can't, it's impossible. And then I would have spent less energy on trying to ask him how he is, save him, spend money on supplements, having him only feel more broken, more worse, which that model has you doing, that all models has you just feeling terrified of yourself, pathologizing your feelings and your past and all this stuff. And you're gonna end up anyway, you're just gonna end because there's no saving anybody. So I would have spent more time living amongst him, going into myself to then live with. So we'll see where this takes, this shifts with visits and everything else, but can't save anybody. You need to understand that. Is there work to be done? Of course there is. With whom? You. Always you. You with you, not you versus you. So, one more critical point that I forgot to make is, another thing to understand is you are so entangled with everyone, family, anybody you've had history with, everyone in the world, like humans are all entangled together, that when you understand yourself to a greater extent, you do the work to understand yourself, you continue to live along this aligned path with you, your path, to understand yourself even more. They have no choice but to feel your responses and to feel your changes and to feel your shifts and your understanding. So it's affecting them directly, even though it's not spoken, even though it's not communicated per se through the superficial way humans communicate through language, but through the truest sense of how we communicate through energy and force and vibration. So more of a understanding, not motivator, because a lot of times you're not going to be motivated to do anything, you just do it, and you find motivation along the way, but inspiration and understanding to go into you even more, is they will respond. That's why people in a household all respond together. Children respond to their parents, even though things aren't being said, things are being lived, and we're responding to the lived, not the words. It's a loud world,